how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Reverend Garage. So if you clicked on this video, you either know that your stator has gone bad or your scooter is giving you problems, and this may be one of your issues. So let's help you diagnose it. So this may not be the issue for the scooter, but this is the next direction and where we're getting pointed and what we're going to replace for you guys, and at least show you the process in which we do it. If it fixes our problem, awesome. If not, we at least took one variable out of the equation. If your scooter is happening to either not start at all, and you know that you're getting fuel and you have power, if your scooter is actually running but it's happening to sputter really bad or cut out on you or anything like that, and it was running fine before and nothing changed,
just all of a sudden starts running like crap and backfiring.
Yeah, that's just a couple little telltale signs that your stator is going bad. This scooter, as you guys may have seen, is the scooter that we got out of the storage auction. So it's very unknown health-wise to us. We did get it running, and it was running fine. We put our electronic fuel pump on there, which we'll be making a video about soon for you guys, just to get rid of that pesky vacuum pump that's notorious to be a problem on all Mad Dog and Ruckuses. But we had it running, it was running good, and then it just stopped running. I try and start it, give you a little take here.
Doesn't even want to bark off.
Nothing. I'll put starting fluid in there.
Won't bark off.
Nothing at all. So just kind of unsure. We made sure that the fuel pump wasn't the issue. Connected that to my other Mad Dog we have behind me. Fires right up. So it's definitely something else in this motor. So that's why we're diving into the stator. I'm going to get that replaced for you. So,
and those of you who don't know what a stator even looks like, let's show you real quick.
Or even what a stator does. Stator's pretty much, in like, to compare it to a car, it's your alternator. It keeps your battery charged while you're riding. But this is something that I bought off Amazon. I'll put the price up right here.
Along with the link.
Yep, and then their link will be down below. But it comes super simple. All these ones come with an 8-pole stator. If you want to upgrade to an 11-pole or 18-pole stator, you have to do more than just replacing the stator. The wiring is different as well, same as the rectifier. So it's not just a simple kit. They do sell plug-and-play kits, but we're sticking stock today. So this is just an 8-pole stator. Comes all secured. And then so it is only 7 poles and then your rectifier coil, but they still technically say it's an 8-coil stator. But this is a plug-and-play replacement. Super simple. Let's dive right into it. Alright, so to get this thing installed and to get the bike torn apart is relatively simple, super accessible. All you're going to need is Phillips screwdriver or 8mm socket, which will take off the Phillips as well. So I'm gonna run over here, grab my deep dish colored sockets from Harbor Freight, grab my specialty tool. You're gonna need this to remove the magneto cover over your stator, and it's just magnetized. So this is gonna thread onto that little magnetized cover, and then this will separate it, push it away from the stator itself, pull this apart. Then you'll have access to the stator, which has 2 8mm bolts as well.
Is there a way to do a stator without that specialty tool?
I mean, I would assume yes. You're just going to need to have someone holding the bike and then someone grabbing that thing. It's just a super strong magnet.
I'm sure there's somebody that's probably made a video about how to do it without the proper tool.
Yeah, it's just held on by a magnet. So if you just have someone holding the bike in place, or the bike's, secured in place so you can't pull the bike when you're pulling that apart, you can probably just grab a hold on the ends and just pull it with strength, and I assume you can get it to demagnetize. I'm not sure how strong, but they sell a tool for it. So. And
what does that tool cost? What do you think?
It came with a kit that I bought a while ago, but usually it's probably like $10 if that on Amazon. 8mm. Start tearing apart. So let's get to the bike and see there. And we're gonna get the wiring. I'm gonna get all these zip ties out of the way, as I need to get the wiring for the stator. Comes right out of here. We're gonna be needing access to that. Right. Bye-bye zip ties. Alright, so we are going to start by taking off. Sometimes you will have an engine cooling cover right here that looks like this. It's usually just 3 Phillips heads. Just take those off. Honestly, you could even leave that on if you wanted to. But then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and down below, there's a 4th. So you take those 4 screws off, and then you'll be able to slide this cover off. So let's get to that. And then just like that, pops right off. So then that will give you access to the cooling fan, which is attached to your magneto cover. So 4 more 8mm bolts, and this fan will come off. Let's get to it. Now we have access to our magneto. I think we need to take this 17mm, let me confirm, off. So I'm gonna grab my impact 17mm, and then we'll be able to thread our specialty tool into here. It has threads built into here. That's where the tool will go into. So let's get that bolt off. All right, so this part specifically does not spin, but when you go to like the CVT cover and you try and take off the clutches, it will spin on you, so you'll need a good impact to get that off. Definitely a bit overkill. Just like that. So now we got that done. I'm gonna let Shane get a little
right there,
close in on these threads so you can see what we're talking about. On the inside of here, there's threads.
That's what that specialty tool is going to thread into. So when you hit that center nut and push it out, it's going to start pushing.
It's going to start pushing onto this,
which is going to pull this whole thing off
as it's threaded on. So let's go ahead and get that off. Okay, so I've got the specialty tool here. I'm going to back out this all the way, so this is not going to make contact before we get it threaded in. I believe this thread is reverse. Yep, just like that. You reverse thread it on until it's a little tight. And then you're going to grab, I believe, I don't think it's a 17. Oh, I lied, it's 17.
Did you see it break loose right there?
Yep, so all I need to do is pull that magnetation off and then pull. There's nothing holding that on besides magnets.
And look at what's behind it.
Dirt.
Look,
that
look
is
at the dirt in the magneto.
Holy,
right there.
That definitely could be an issue. Holy. Like there's just water sitting in there.
Yeah, you can definitely tell this thing has seen some better days, and we're slowly
bringing her back to life.
Well, slowly figuring out all the issues too. I'm not surprised that Stator looks like it's been dipped in a mud puddle a couple times.
I'm surprised we got it started at all. So what I'm going to do is, you can see there's 2 more 8mm bolts, and then 2 more 8mm bolts. And I did lie. I didn't think that this spun on you, but it does spin on you. So impact is needed. Oh, you also have to take off these 2 right here. That pinches the wire so it doesn't get caught. And then all this is going to come off. Alright, some more zip ties to cut. Your main plug, and then the 2 wires that come off of it. So luckily these are bolt connectors. Just unplug. And that did go red to black, and then red to white. Went to the blue to white. So I'm going to grab some some speed clean. Wipe all the dirt off and get this cleaned up before we get to installing the new stator. But we're over halfway there, so let's get to it. Alright, so before we wipe down all the dirt and stuff, got my hose in my hand, so let's blow off the dog. Oh. Alright, so as you can see, this is what we just pulled off. Pretty beat up, but
man, you saw how covered this thing was. For it to have this much grime, oh yeah.
That should not be exposed like that.
No bueno.
So yeah, this is just dirty. Oh yeah, look at that. Right there. Okay, so now comparing it to the new one that we're going to pull out, and you see, this is not exposed, it's actually double covered. So let's put this on. Over here, do something like that.
So you just have to make sure the bolt holes line up?
Yeah, bolt holes line up, and then this is going to go the line. So this is going to want to go into here.
Oh, there's that little rubber grommet that feeds through into the little channel where the wires come out. You can see it right there.
Other way, and pay attention.
Oh, because of where those flat bars sit off the side?
Yeah, so it angles down. So if you try and put it up, it's going to go into your 2 holes for that. So I'm going to grab bolts for this. Start just locking stuff into place, and then I can get my wires all tightened up. Get a couple threads on. Make sure I'm not going to strip it when I use my ratchet. Grab bolts. this on, turn on, and let's start putting these on. No, just make sure that the wire is behind here, so your wire is not going to be interfering with this at all. And then I'm just going to have to move this black thing down.
Now, does that stator spin when the bike is in motion?
Yes. So the electric thing, this does not spin.
Okay.
The electric magneto around it spins and creates a charge. Okay, so that's all 6 volts tight. That is good to go. Now I'm going to run my wire back up how it was before. It's way different.
Say what?
So that's not going to work, guys.
Do we need to repin a plug?
So I'm going to have to look. It's still only getting 3 wires. Yeah, so this plug just came differently. So I'm going to do some research for you guys. And in the link of this description will be a little bit different of a stator that will be plug and play. I'll make sure that the female end for that's on the stator already is not this. It'll be the one that's for Mad Dog. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work, but I'll go through the research for you guys so you won't have to go through this issue. Okay, so I just took my little precision screwdriver here because it's skinny enough to fit into these pins, and took all 3 of these pins off of this plug. So the only reason I'm going about it this way is I luckily on my shelf have plugs. Let me show you real fast right here. That's gonna plug right onto the connector that came on the stator. So it's going to be easier for me just to repin it from the bike. So I am going to cut these wires at the pins, use my wire strippers, get some wire exposed, and then put on some new pins and repin them to the stator.
So just so you guys understand, the plug that matches up with the new stator needs a different type of metal pin inside there. That's different than what came out of that other pin. So this is what's
on there, and this is what's going to go onto that plug.
See how much skinnier that one is? So we just got to resolder on these ends, crimp them, solder them, so they're going to fit into that.
Okay, so I have now went through, repinned the bike side to match the pin that came on the stator. I also did some research while I was doing that, and we did end up finding a stator that should be plug and play. Worst case, it's not super hard to repin. But we did this on another scooter, an X Pro Bali 150cc, and a GY6 motor is what this is for. Just a reminder, anything with a GY6. But it was plug and play. The harness that came off of that scooter had this plug already on it. And I just checked my Gen 1 and Gen 4 Mad Dog, and they come with the plug that came on this. You know, we'll give you honestly, I'll have our editor put both links in the description for this one and one that will be plug and play for the Mad Dogs, just for anyone that has a GY6 that is not putting this on a Mad Dog. For those of you that don't want anything to do with unpinning a plug and repinning it with new ends, spend the $3 extra and just get the plug. Or you're just not comfortable with wires. But now that that is wired, sorry, that definitely went on longer than it should have. Well, and one other point about that is we happen to have those pins and that plug handy just because of all the other stuff we do. Yeah, and we have this is about an $18 to $20 kit right here. And we just happen to have that, so it didn't cost us any money because it already cost us money prior. Because we buy this stuff in bulk, as you may have seen from our speedometer conversion, use the same type of pin. Instead of a 4-pin, it's a 9-pin. But that's the same type of thing we use for our conversion harnesses for our speedometers. So we have to have them in bulk. But when we buy those 9-pins, a lot of times they came with 2, 3, 4, 6-pin stuff. We have extra stuff on hand. So it worked out that way. So what we're saying is, it's a better option to spend the $16.99, I think, for if you don't have stuff on hand, with the correct plug on the end. So, like I said, went on way too long, but more information is better for you guys. Just so you're not wasting your time. You can learn from us. Now that is done, this is secured, all the bolts are tight. We are good to grab our tool off of here. Remember, it is countered, so you're gonna actually tighten to take it off. I'm gonna wipe this down really fast. Also, that's actually glad that came off. So a lot of people are like, what if you put this on in the wrong position? You can't. I don't know why people say to make sure you mark it before you take it off and all that. If you look in here, it's toothed. It can only go on one way. Oh yeah, it's got a key in there. Yep, it has a keyhole. So you're gonna look on here, You see the keyhole right on top. There you go. So I'm going to take this, my washer. You know, I can wait on the washer. Just to show you guys. Keyhole, and it's magnetized. So be careful. It's going to pull it really freaking fast once it gets there. But keyhole on top. And good to go. And we'll put the washer on. Grab our nut. And then I'm going to grab my impact. That ain't going nowhere. So now that is done, technically you can start your bike just like this. From this point on, you're putting a fan cover onto this and a engine plastic cover just to keep it cool. I'm gonna turn this key on. I'm gonna hit start and it starts up. If not, that's just gonna leave us with more diagnostics to do. But either way, that is how you replace your starter. Sorry, your stator, excuse me. So let's just try it out.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, well, okay, so we were getting ready to end the video and I just happened to look over and this stator came with a weird butt connector on here, and I just went to go tighten this up and it just came off. So this thing actually was not connected, so I got them really connected. Now they're not coming apart. Let's try it again, just to rule that out. Look at that. Okay, so simple as that. That was user error. I didn't plug in the freaking wire. I'm gonna take it as a win. That definitely was the issue. As you guys saw, we were cranking and cranking and cranking before and there was nothing. That was an immediate start. Thank you, electric fuel pump. Stay tuned for that. I hope you guys learned something from that stator install. This works for any GY6 motor. Super simple. Besides
and pretty much the same for any stator.
Yeah, pretty much any stator.
It doesn't matter if it's a 50cc,
125cc, 190cc.
A stator's a stator. It's going to matter if it's a 5-pole, 8-pole.
And if you don't know what your stator is, wait on ordering it. Take it apart, count your poles, and then order your stator, just so you're not wasting your time or money. And then you'll need one of these tools if your stator you buy does not come with it, which most will not. All right, so thank you again for watching this video, and we appreciate you guys. Make sure you give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit us with the notifications to stay tuned for whenever we do drop a new video, and tell your friends. Thank you very much. Reverend, out.